Hi, I'm Gabby and this is Little Sprout Studio. Today I'm going to be giving you a studio tour of, my studio slash office, whatever. I never really know what counts as a studio. Either way, this is my creative space and where I spend the majority of my days. It's not a huge space, but it does the job quite well, I think. This is my creative space, as well as the place I'll be doing pretty much all my YouTube videos. So I really want to show y'all around and let you know what I'm about and what the space is about, because I feel like the space that we choose to be creative in and the space that we build for ourselves is a good reflection of who we are and, you know, our inspirations and everything like that. So I figured this is a good glimpse into myself, and it's a bit of an introduction to me as well as the space. And I know that the space is quite chaotic. I feel like a lot of studios that I see online are very like crisp and clean. Or even if they have like a lot going on, it's very like organized clutter, it feels like. Whereas I try my best to organize my clutter, but it doesn't always work, and I want things to be out in the open and like on open shelves, because I forget things exist if they get put away. I'm someone that really likes to be surrounded by the things that I love and that I'm inspired by, and it to be constantly reminded to myself. So that's why there's so much Ghibli stuff in here. My art wall over here is probably my favorite part of my studio, and I feel like I have a little bit of variety in the art that I have there. And I really wish I could remember all of the artists that I've bought from the years that I've been going to conventions and getting things from artist alleys and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the pieces on my wall are actually things that I created for myself in art school. And I wouldn't say I necessarily went to like art school, because I didn't have like a bachelor's of arts or anything. I was under a design program for like UI UX design, but the like basic principles of a lot of the design stuff, they still had us take some basic art classes. So I took some painting classes and some, you know, graphic design classes and all that kind of stuff. So I have a base of just more design work and like a baseline of certain artistic skills, but I wasn't like trained a lot in more traditional art. Although I feel like I've gotten to explore a lot of different types of mediums and stuff, because in my high school, I feel like my art teacher was, I don't know, she was very good at making sure we tried lots of mediums. I was in art class almost as much as I could fit it into my schedule. I try to put art in my schedule. There's so many things that I learned in high school that I want to revisit and come back to, and that's definitely something I want to do in this channel, and I will be doing soon, kind of trying to explore different types of mediums that I have always been interested in, or at least wanted to like further my education in, because I feel like I just have very base principles or base level understanding of a lot of mediums, and I want to explore more of. Siri, is this the demon? This is another baby. You're not allowed to come in here because you're gonna eat all of Munchkin's food, and that's not okay, huh? In general, I've always been a nerd, so a lot of my inspirations come from anime and video games and like stuff like that. I've loved those things as long as I can remember, as long as I've existed, I feel like. So all of those things always have, I feel like, a heavy hand in my art. And also I just am a big media consumer, so I watch a lot of movies and TV shows and all kinds of stuff. I try my best to stay up to date on like what's popular in media for the most part. Some of the biggest media inspirations in my life, obviously, like I said, Ghibli. Ghibli is a big inspiration in my life, but also Avatar: The Last Airbender, even though I feel like I don't have as much Avatar: The Last Airbender art as I would like, so that needs to change in the future. But I do have a tattoo here of that, and then also my other tattoo, I only have two, is a Kiki's Delivery Service tattoo, which I also obviously have a very big Kiki's Delivery Service poster there, and that's in Italian, so if you're curious. I just got it from my artist alley, and I was like, I know that the town she's in is inspired by Italy, I think, and Studio Ghibli, like the word Ghibli is Italian, so anyways. I'm rambling, I'm sorry. This studio space serves as a lot of different things for me. So I run my sticker business from my studio, so that's why I have like a Cricut, as well as a lot of like paper supplies and printers, although I don't love my printer. It's alright, it does the job, but I know I could get a bit better one. I also have just like a little area to the side here that is like basically my like sticker area, I feel like, in terms of like packing and all of where I hold my paper supplies and stuff like that. So that's one aspect of my studio. And then there's another aspect, which is more of my cosplay stuff, because I am a cosplayer, although it's not really something that I like will showcase very much. I feel like here I have an Instagram for it and everything like that. I've been doing it for like 10 years or more than 10 years now, very casually. That is something that I do, which is why I have such an insane collection of fabric. I also like to thrift a lot, which is a problem. So I often find things at a thrift store and then I'm like, this could be good fabric, and I save it. So that's kind of what all of this is here, because I also try my best to thrift materials for cosplay when I'm making it, when I can. So there is organization to this madness, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it. Things are organized here, but I also do want to try to take the skills that I have from sewing and try to implement that into my business in the future. I really would like to make my own tote bags. I don't think I would necessarily want to do my own clothing, mainly because I'm afraid of sizing and stuff, because I was not traditionally trained in sewing. I am a self-learner in sewing, so I don't know the right ways to do a lot of things, but I think that something like tote bags, bandanas, like smaller fabric things, I would really like to explore doing that. And if I was to do t-shirts, it would maybe be thrifted t-shirts, which is an idea I've played with a little bit, or I would try and see if I could bulk do them and screen print them myself, because I also have learned a little bit of screen printing, and that's something I really want to explore more, which I do have some screen printing materials, but they are hidden in a drawer and I have not touched them in a while. So once again, something I want to explore. That will be a common theme amongst a lot of the things in my office and my studio here, is that a lot of it is stuff for the future, or things that I started dabbling in and then never finished dabbling in, or you know, they didn't go beyond a dabble, but I know that I want to come back to it, which I know is a common struggle amongst artists, and I have ADHD as well, so that definitely does not help. And then another aspect to the space that I have is also like my computer and gaming space, because I also Twitch stream. I know I do a lot. So I actually am not Twitch streaming at this exact moment in time, but I'm setting up to start streaming in like a week or so, because I used to stream about 3 years ago. I stopped streaming just because I was taking a break from it, but I was a streamer for like 5 years before that, even though it was very casual. It was just a fun hobby on the side, but I still like play games. I don't just, that part of me doesn't just go away. That's what the computer space is for, and why I have like dual monitors and gaming systems and things like that around, and all of the audio equipment, this camera that I'm using right now to film. Twitch streaming as well is one aspect of my office. So the situation in my office is actually very interesting in terms of just like my life. Me and my husband, we built a tiny house on wheels because he's a welder, and also I have learned a lot of carpentry skills growing up because my dad does a lot of working on the house and like fixing up and like working with wood, and he's always taught me how to do that. Me and my husband built our tiny house on wheels. It is in the backyard of the main house, and the main house is my parents' house, although they do not live in it anymore because they recently moved, but we are going to be buying the house from them. It's a whole thing because I have all of this. And I was like, this does not work with a tiny space, a tiny house, so I need a separate office. We built an office for myself within the garage of the big house. The garage is like an extension of my creative space, but it is not nice looking. It looks horrendous, actually. It's a mess, and that is where I just vom all of extra stuff. Like, I hold all my cosplay stuff out there, my finished cosplay, but like my stuff, working cosplay that I'm working on, happens in here, but then once I'm done, I hang it up and put it out there for me to wear whenever I want to wear it. So right now it is just the area in which is there. I do hold some of my like craft things out in there, but it's more stuff that my dabbled stuff. So little bits of like wood that I want to paint on, or like clay that I bought because I wanted to get into clay. That's where things go for me to one day revisit. Or when I find cool stuff at the thrift store, I'm like, this could turn into something cool. Put it out there if it's not fabric, because the fabric goes there. But in general, this space is something that I really feel like is a good reflection of who I am. It's a little bit messy, but I feel like pretty fun and colorful, and just got a lot going on and can't get it together very well. That's me. But we're trying. We're out here trying. That is what this whole thing is about. This whole YouTube channel, my whole goal is to help me get my shit together and get my like art career and journey on a little bit more of a established path. I just feel like I have always wanted to focus my efforts and actually try my hand at something and get good at it, because I'm definitely a victim of the jack of all trades. And I know the whole line is like jack of all trades, master of none, but then something about how the jack of all trades is happier or something. I don't remember. But I would like to not be necessarily a full master at one, but at least a master in one or two things, maybe three things. I want to use this space is here for me to explore that. And also I would like to document it as best as I can, so I can also maybe inspire other people to try their hand at all kinds of art and not be afraid to fail, because I know that I'm gonna fail so much and I'm gonna show y'all when I fail. I will not hide it away. I just want to share the things that I love with people and then form a community, because I also want you guys to let me know the things that you're doing, and I can be happy for you, you can be happy for me, we can all help each other and we can all inspire each other and encourage each other, and it's a whole thing. We're gonna learn together, because I am definitely not an expert or even the start of an expert at pretty much anything. We in this together. We're all in this together. Disney, another big inspiration. I'm just basic bitch sometimes. But sorry, sidetrack. Once again, another thing, I talk with my hands a lot. Now that I've shown you guys my space and told you a little bit about myself, then I really hope you would want to subscribe to this channel. This is just the beginning. I will be hopefully posting regularly from now on. I'm going to be on my stuff and I'm going to post weekly on here. I'm going to be posting shorts as well as full videos. And if you want to follow me on any other social media, which I'm pretty decent at staying up to date with and just, you know, doing all my stuff, then the links will show up. And I hope you will consider following me along this journey and going along this journey with me, because I want you and me, all of us together, walk this path hand in hand. And this is Little Sprout Studio, where we are creatively blooming one sprout at a time. That might change later. Not the mentality, but the slogan, I don't know. See ya.